Once upon a time, there was a rich merchant in the kingdom of Magadha. He was always worried about his savings. He always thought that the amount of wealth he had now would make his own life very easy, and even the life of his only son would be easy in the future. But how would the generations of his grandchildren and great-grandchildren manage to lead their life happily? At that time, Mahatma Gautama Buddha came to meet the Buddhist monks in the kingdom of Magadha. A friend of that rich man told him, "Only Lord Buddha can get rid of your worries. You should go to Lord Buddha." According to the friend's advice, the rich man went to meet Buddha. Mahatma Gautama Buddha was then preaching to all the disciples in a discussion meeting. The rich man bowed to Buddha and said, "O Buddha, I want to have so much wealth that I, my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren can live a luxurious life. I have a lot of money right now, but not enough to maintain the next 4 generations in luxury. I want more and more money and wealth so that the money will never run out. And as I don't have it, I am always worried." Mahatma Buddha was silent for a while when he heard the rich man's words. Then he smiled softly and said, "Well, you will have endless money and wealth, but for that you have to do a small thing." The rich man asked with great enthusiasm, "Tell me, Buddha, what is that little thing I have to do?" Buddha said, "When I came to this city, I saw very poor people living in a slum a little away down the street. You would offer food to one of their families for one day." The rich man was overjoyed to hear this and said, "O Buddha, this is a very small thing. Tomorrow I will surely offer food for a day to a family." Early the next morning, the rich man went to the slum with the food for a day for an ordinary family, as per Buddha's order. When he reached the first hut in the slum, the rich man saw an old man meditating inside the hut, and his wife sitting next to him making bread in the oven. The rich man said to the woman, "I am the richest man in the city. I would like to donate one day's food." The wife bowed and said, "Thank you, but I can't take this stuff because we have enough food today." The rich man was surprised and said, So what? Keep this stuff for tomorrow? The wife said, We don't worry about tomorrow. We work every day, and every day we eat with that money we earn. We don't need this donation. Dejected, the rich man returned from there and entered another cottage. There he saw a mother putting her 2 children to sleep. The rich man said, I am the richest man in this city. I want to donate 1 day's food to your family. The mother said, Thank you. You are great. But we don't need this donation. Today's cooking and dinner are over. The person was very optimistic, and he said, So what? If today's dinner is over, please keep these items for tomorrow. You and your children will eat. Mother said, I am sorry. I can't accept these items. I know, of course. My 2 children will be very happy to wake up and see such good and tasty food. But I can't buy it the next day. I want the children to grow up and earn honestly. They will buy and eat all such food by themselves. Now let them realize the scarcity. The rich man stood silent for a while and realized why Lord Gautama Buddha had sent him to this slum. The next morning, the rich man came to Gautama Buddha and bowed down and said, O Buddha, I understand why you sent me to the slum. I realized that it is not right to worry about the future. But, O Buddha, will you explain to me in detail what this worry is? How is anxiety born in the mind? And what is the way to get rid of it? Buddha smiled slightly and said, Worrying about tomorrow, whether it makes tomorrow peaceful or not, destroys today's peace. Depression is a kind of mental illness that robs us of all happiness in life and makes us mentally ill. There is no existence of worry in reality. Worry about the future is born in the brain. Anxiety is born when we think about things in the future that are out of our control. Think a little deeper. Will there be any harm if you don't think about the things you don't have control over? The things you can't change thinking about it. The rich man said, O Buddha, then should I give up thinking about the future? Buddha said, Carefully we have to analyze any problem we have in the present or any problem that we may face in the future. We have to find the root cause of the problem, and we have to take specific actions to prevent that root cause from happening. But if we do not do this, and if we only think about the problem day and night, we ourselves will give birth to more worries. Finally, we will become mentally ill by wasting our present life. People worry about future events, which most of the time do not happen in the future. Worry makes people tired. Even if that happens in reality, it is not as sorrowful as the people who are suffering from depression. The rich man asked Mahatma Buddha, "O Buddha, what is the right way to live life?" Gautama Buddha said, "The name of our passing day is indifference, and the name of the future struggles. And this moment, the present, is called life. We make many plans in our life for the future, and when they don't come true, we start to worry. Although our life does not depend on the past or the future, but on this moment which we call life. To realize and live this time is life. Knowing all this, we feel sad worrying about either the past or the future. As a result, we can no longer understand the present. From now on, remember one eternal truth. We cannot change past and future events by brooding over them." The rich man said, "O Buddha, I can understand you a little, but no matter how much I try, I will worry about the family and children, if not more, at least a little." Listening to him, Buddha smiled and said, "It is natural to think, but we should change our thoughts to positive fundamental thoughts. You know one thing, but let me remind you. This world existed before your birth, and this world will exist even after your departure. Your coming and going will not change anything in this world, because the time before your arrival and after your departure is not in your hands. You only have the present moment to live. Every time, the priceless present moment of life comes, and after a while, it goes away. Now tell me, what will you do? Will you waste that precious present by worrying, or will you live every moment happily without thinking, and share the joy with generosity and benevolence?" We should only think about how to make the present more useful and spend every moment in more joy and eternal peace. Remember that negative thought will lead you to hell, and constructive positive thinking will teach you to live your life with joy in every moment. Now the rich man said, "O Buddha, I understand your philosophy. We should not make our life unnecessarily complex. We should enjoy this momentary life without any worries. But, O Buddha, a question arose in my mind. If a person is overshadowed with sorrow, then how will he be free from this sorrow?" Mahatma Buddha said, "Have you ever come out of a deep tunnel? What a terrible darkness inside the tunnel. It always seems that If I get stuck in this tunnel, death is certain. But it is also true that there is a way out at the other end of the tunnel. That way is the way of light, the way of life. Now, if you don't try, if you just sit down and worry that I am stuck in the tunnel and I can't get out, then you will never get out. Slowly death will consume you. And if you try hard to get you out of this tunnel anyway, you will definitely get out of that terrible tunnel, even if it takes some time. We unknowingly turn ourselves into a habit of worrying. It is definitely possible to get out of this worry only with strong will and effort. Now the rich man bowed to Buddha and said, Gurudev, I have understood. I have realized that I have wasted so much time worrying and worrying. From now on, I will enjoy life through good deeds and eternal peace. Friends, think deeply. We are living today. We are completely unaware of whether tomorrow will be or not. Why spend this extremely perishable life just worrying in vain? We should remember that the earth is 4.5 billion years old in this universe. If you leave the world after 70 to 80 years, just worrying about everything, it doesn't matter to this universe. So tell yourself every day, I am not here just to live. I am here to enjoy every moment of life. It has become our habit to worry about small things like, what will happen to me if there is a traffic jam on the road? If it rains today, what will happen to my work? What will happen to me if he forgets me? If the child is not established, what will happen to us? If he does not like me, what will I do in the future? Don't worry about all these useless things. You cannot change all these things by worrying. If death comes in front of you, all the worries will become tiny and trivial at once. Then you will only feel, I am living at this moment. What's the point of worrying? So, live the joy of life. Live in charity and benevolence. Live in love and smile to all. Experience the wonderful beauty of the world. Live generously, respecting every person and relationship. The most important thing is to love yourself, know the eternal truth of life, and live forever.